everyone. Welcome to the Yarn and Ewe Girl Podcast. I'm Janine, your host, and this is my podcast about knitting mostly. Sometimes I do some other stuff, but it's almost exclusively about knitting. So I hope that's what you're here for. I am in my regular spot, but as you guys might be able to tell, the room is looking quite bare behind me. And I feel like it's echoing in here because there isn't as much yarn to muffle the walls. But that's because this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to be at the Tacoma Dome having a little show. The Tacoma Dome hosts the Holiday Food and Gift Festival. It's a Christmas-themed gift festival with lots of food and crafts and wares to purchase and things like that. And this will be my third year that I do a booth up there. It's not specifically craft related, this festival, more holiday related. But if you are in the area and you want to come by, I would love to see you and say hi. I'm going to be in the exhibition hall. And like I said, I have my little shop that's normally in this room set up at the hall there. So it's going to be a busy 4 days. Usually I'm very exhausted by the end of it, but also I have a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. But I wanted to get in a little podcast beforehand because that's where I'm going to be, and when I would normally podcast like on Friday this week. So it's a little early. I don't have as much to show you guys. And I've been having some elbow issues. I seriously don't know if I'm like the only knitter who gets tendonitis or knitter's elbow or whatever you want to call it, but I can't stop. And so being forced to stop, I can stop. It's not like I, Janine, have a problem. I know that the first step is admitting I have a problem. I am addicted to knitting. Like, it is, for me, my drug. I'm sure that there are, for me, like, I can justify it by saying, there's lots of other bad, worse habits out there that I could be addicted to than knitting. However, it is wreaking a little bit of pain and inflammation on my elbow in particular. So I've kind of slowed down a little bit these last couple days, not very much really. But we went to the beach this weekend, and instead of knitting obsessively the whole weekend, which I normally would have done, I made puzzles and played games. And we went out on the beach. It was gorgeous. I had a great time. I just didn't get as much knitting done as I normally would have, which was good. But I still feel like even with that little bit of a break and me living on ibuprofen, it's still bothering me. So today I actually have one of those lidocaine patches on my elbow, and I'm hoping that will help. And I've got like an elbow brace, so my arm's a little fat here. But normally, I've told you guys I wear like a sweatband as a tennis elbow brace most of the time, and that's usually good, but my sweatbands are getting a little stretched out, and the normal tennis elbow brace I don't like because it irritates my skin. I'm very sensitive. When my kids know this about me too, and so they try to do it to drive me crazy, but if you like rub a spot on my body, like just in the same place over and over again, it drives me bananas. And so it's the same kind of way when I have something on my arm and it's slightly irritating. I just can't handle it. So this is nice because it's soft, and the sweatbands that I normally wear are nice and soft. So, but they're kind of feeling like they're stretched out. So I bought a new wrist or elbow brace, and I've got the patch on, and I'm hoping that will help me. Because when I go to this show in Tacoma, I stand there and I knit to, like, I have a bag hanging off my arm, and I just knit vanilla socks. And it's enough to kind of, people come in to the booth, they they may not be knitters, but they're kind of drawn to it, and they look at me and they're like, how do you do that? And so it's just kind of a conversation starter for me. So I need to be able to do that this weekend, or I will be standing there twiddling my thumbs in the booth and having a really hard time with it. Gotta get my fix. Gotta get my knitting fix. Anyway, so I have a few things to show you guys. Not a ton, but a few. And it's going to be a pretty quick episode. First off, I just want to talk about the gift along, knit along. Make sure that if you are starting those holiday knitting or crocheting things for your family or friends, be sure to take a picture of them and post it in the Ravelry group, which is the Yarn and Ewe Girl Podcast group. So go over there, join in, check it out. Make sure to introduce yourself in the Make Yourself Known thread, and post in the Finished Objects or Chatter thread over there. There's a couple finished objects already, and I'd love to see more. So we're going to get closer, and I'm hoping that there will be a lot more starting to show up as the days get closer and closer. So the knit along or crochet along goes through December 24th, and it's anything knitted or crocheted for anyone else as long as it's as a gift, and it can be a work in progress. It didn't have to have been started, right now. So really, anything counts. It can be a teeny tiny ornament that you are knitting for a friend. Post a picture of it. I would love to see it. So that's the gift along, knit along. And that's the most pressing information. If you want to look for me on Ravelry, I'm Yarn and Ewe Girl. I am Yarn and Ewe on Instagram and Facebook. And there's also another thing going on. Emily from Anders Mill Knits podcast and I had got together a couple weeks ago, and we talked about possibly doing a knitting retreat. So we are collecting some information, sort of just a survey. She put together a Google Doc, and it's on my Instagram feed right now. So if you go to my Instagram page, and in my profile, there's a link to the Google Doc currently. So you could go over there, and if you're interested, even if you're not interested in going with us, if you ever were interested in going on a knitting retreat, we want to hear what you want from that knitting retreat. If you want it to be a small thing, a large thing, do you want classes? Do you want just to visit local area? Do you want to have it catered? What do you want? We want to know. I think the idea of this knitting retreat, I've pondered it for a long time just in my head, but I've never really laid it out there. And Emily has been really amazing and has kind of already done a lot of research, and she approached me about it, and I'm really looking forward to doing this with her. So I would love it if you go over and fill out the Google Doc. That would be amazing. That way we can kind of compile some information and see what people are looking for out of a knitting retreat, what they'd be willing, what they want to do, what they want to spend their money and time on. So I would love to hear your information on that. Again, that is, that's in my Instagram feed, but you know what? I'm going to put it in the show notes or in the description box down below here. That way, if you are lazy, and I'm not calling anybody lazy, I'm just saying, make it a little bit easier for people. No, I'm lazy. I totally would not spend that extra minute to go and go to my Instagram feed, but I will put the link in the down bar below. So that way, for anybody who is interested, but kind of I don't want to spend the extra effort to look into it, there's going to be a link for you guys. Is that bad? I really, really love all of you. Anyway, so let's see. That's that. That's going to be the coming up hopefully in the spring. So we'll kind of keep you guys posted on that. That's administrative stuff. And as far as knitting stuff, I do have one finished object, and it is the Meriel Brioche Cowl that I showed you guys I started. So this is my design, and currently it is in test knitting mode. If you want to be a test knitter for this, there are still some spots available over on the free pattern testers group in Ravelry. I have an open thread going right now for Meriel. Oh, it says open knit Meriel Brioche Cowl, and I still have some spots available. So make sure if you do want to test knit that you do read the rules for the group, because it is kind of specific, and there's you have to check in pretty regularly on the thread. You have to post photos and things like that, but it's a good way for me to get my, for people who are interested in test knitting to be able to, sign up for stuff like that. So please, if you're interested, go over to that group and you can sign up, and I will send you the pattern information. But all the stuff that I'm doing for the test knit goes through that group for this particular cowl. And the reason I'm doing that this time is just to kind of check it out and see what happens and see how it goes and how much feedback and stuff I can get. I do want you to have already had some experience with brioche if you are interested in test knitting, so you should have some experience in how to do 2-color brioche. But I did provide some video tutorials on how to do it. So if you would like to test knit for that would be great. So this one is done in Lorna's Laces, Shepherd Bulky, and the pattern calls for worsted weight, but I did one already in worsted weight, and I wanted to do one in bulky, and I plan on also doing another one in the fingering weight. Now this one, let's see if I've got my, I don't have my knitting bag, dang it. So I used one skein of the multicolor. Here is Christmas at Downton, and then the gray is Pewter, and it's Lorna's Laces Shepherd Bulky. Like I said, the pattern that I did originally called for worsted weight, but it is very adaptable, and the brioche is very stretchy. So I thought I would do a small size, because I put 3 sizes in there, and I would do it in the bulky weight and see how much yarn that took. And it literally, I was playing yarn chicken at the end, but I got through all of it. So I did a small version. I did it on US size 9s, and I made it with just a little bit of the gray to spare. But it turned out great. It was perfect. I was excited. I was, like I said, a little worried. But, I figured if I had to, I could buy some more of the yarn and just, do something else with the leftovers. But I wanted to see sort of how much yarn it would take to do just the small version. And the bulky weight yarn worked out perfect for one skein of each color. So that's my finished object. And like I said, it's in testing right now. I do plan on doing another one in some fingering weight with a little bit higher contrast. Like, I wasn't really thrilled. I like this a lot, don't get me wrong, but the contrast is not what you expect or want sometimes from a brioche cowl. This is very subtle, and I like it in that way, but you don't see the design as much on this one as you would if you had a higher contrast color combination. And sometimes I'm not super good, I feel like, in picking out color combos. I see some of these designs, and I'm floored by how beautiful they turn out, and my ideas sometimes don't turn out as beautiful. Although, like I said, don't get me wrong, I love this, and I'm really, really thrilled by it, and it is so incredibly warm. It just doesn't have that high contrast, but that's okay. I plan on doing another one with a lot higher contrast in a fingering weight to see sort of how big a cowl that would come out with, using the same stitch counts and things like that. And I also plan on, what I'd like to see too is even doing a solid color, like a single color brioche using the same pattern. I think would be really pretty, because you would really see the design. And it would be focused solely on that and not on the color contrast of the yarn. So you could even do this in one color instead of two, if that was your fancy. So that's the Meriel Brioche Cowl. The second thing I've been working on is a little bit of my So Faded sweater. I sort of put it on a little back burner-ish because I've got this. This is in yarn that I carry in the shop, and so I wanted to kind of be able to wear it this weekend. Even though I won't have the pattern available yet for people, I'm planning on taking names and emails if they're interested in the pattern to kind of let them know, hey, this is when it's coming out. When it does come out, if they are interested in it, I will shoot them an email to let them know that it's available. So I wanted to finish this, and then there was a pair of socks that I started doing in some of my striping yarn that I wanted to finish too, and I haven't quite finished that pair, but I've almost got one done. But there's not much. I think the last time I showed you guys, I literally maybe have done like 2 inches. I've never been good at putting progress keepers on. I like them. I think they're so cute, but I didn't remember to put a progress keeper on this. So I probably will be. I'll take this with me, but I won't knit on it while I'm at the show. I will probably work on my socks, and this might be something that I do in the car on the way home or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I did not end up taking this to go see it. I did go see it, by the way. That was really, it was scary. I was scared. But it was good. And I thought they did a good job. And I went with my mother-in-law, like I told you guys, and I had to leave her halfway through because I had to go to the bathroom, and she was like the only person in the theater. We were the only people in the theater. And then I was kind of freaked out because I was nervous about going into the bathroom by myself. But I did okay. I didn't have any nightmares. It was good. I was excited. And I thought they did a really good job. So I think it'll be fun to see it play out in the second half. Sorry, I dropped something, which I'm not sure what that is or if I need it, but I better put them back. So that is my So Faded sweater. Like, seriously, did an inch maybe or 2. The other one that I've really been exclusively working on is this vanilla pair of socks that are in my Cat in the Hat self-striping kit. So if you guys remember, I showed you guys last time on the episode that I had put together these self-striping kit sock kits that had the self-striping main ball of yarn and then the little contrast minis, so for heels, toes, and cuffs. And I decided that I would try out on a size 0 and also using 9-inch circulars. So this is how far I've gotten. The 9-inch circular is really different. I'm not sure I'm sold on it yet. I kind of like the magic loop method, and I might end up changing to magic loop at the end and then doing my second sock on magic loop, because I don't know if it's making my elbow hurt worse with these or not. So, and the other thing is I feel like I can't try the sock on because I'm gonna lose the needle or something. Do other people have problems with that? Do you guys can you try your sock on with that 9-inch circular? I mean, I feel like it's just gonna fall right off when I try to put my foot in there. I don't know. So I'm not sure how far I can go with this. And then when you do the toe, like, as you start decreasing, it's gonna get difficult, right? Like, don't you think? I don't know. So anyway, but they're so cute and I love them, and I love that they have just a little bit of sparkle. I do have 3 of these left. However, I can't guarantee that they will be there after this weekend. So if they're gone, I'm going to be trying to update the website every evening when I get done with the show. I will not be able to be updating it until that night. So if for whatever reason you want one of these and I've sold them all, and it's not updated, I will try to make sure that I get them dyed up for you. But I will let you know if that happens. If you order something and it's gone, I can only guarantee that with the stuff that I've got on my own hand knit. I can't, or hand dyed. I can't guarantee it obviously with the commercial stuff that I carry. So, or the other brands that I carry. So be forewarned. The website might not be 100% accurate this weekend. Just saying. But like I said, if you do order something, I have everything with me. Most cases, I will try to put it together and mail it out. So I'll set it aside and put it together and mail it out. But these might, they might go. I don't know. But I have 3 left. And of the Lorax ones, I have 4 left right now. So if you really want one, today would be the day, or tomorrow would be the day to buy it, because then I can pull it out of inventory and get it over, get it off the floor for selling. So anyway, but like I said, if something happens and you're still interested in these later and they're all gone, if I have enough interest, I will do more of these. So just letting you know how it goes. But anyway, yeah, so I'm doing these on size 0s and a 9-inch circular, and it's a little awkward. I feel like it's slow. Gosh, the ribbing was dreadfully slow, and the heel was slow too. So I'm not sure if this is going to be my favorite way to do it, but I thought I'd give it a try. It's something different, and you never know. It might grow on me. So that's the other one I've been working on, and like I said, I've been wanting to get that knit up so that when I go to the show, I can show the striping setup on the sock a little bit for people to see. So that's pretty much it on that one. I did get a teeny tiny bit of progress on my Moody's Stocking sock by Lueder. These are on a 1, and these are looking like ginormous. But last time I showed you guys, I literally had the rib, so I only have a little bit more. Not much at all. But this is on the Grapevine colorway, Lorna's Laces Shepherd sock. I do really like it. I'm hoping that they don't end up too big. My feet, I feel like maybe my gauge is getting looser. So I'm going to be switching, I think, to 0s and trying 0s. We'll see. So that's why I tried 0s on the vanilla ones. And maybe it's just with the vanilla socks, but with the pattern ones, it might work out okay. But these are Moody Stockings by Lueder. I have not done very much on those at all. But that's for the Harry Potter Yarnaholic cowl that's going on. And I really like Lueder's patterns. She's Dream Fiber, and almost all of her, maybe all exclusively, I don't know, are free, and they're just nice textural sock patterns. I really like her heel flap and gusset. It fits really nice, and the texture stitches I'm fond of. So anyway, that's Moody's Stockings, and that's pretty much it. Told you guys this was going to be a quick episode. I don't have any acquisitions to show. I did hit a Plucky knitter update, which I'm kind of excited about. I did a pair of socks in the Plucky Primo fingering, and I love them. They were like the squishiest socks ever. So I wanted to get some more, but their yarn's really hard to get a hold of. And some of their yarn these days is like all cashmere, and I can't afford $72 skeins of yarn. So I was just going to get some regular old Primo fingering, which is like $29. I can justify that. I cannot justify $72 a skein for me personally right now. But so when I get that, which I think will be in November, I'm not sure. It was like one of their fall updates or something. They called it QPP, or I don't even know what what it stood for, but I happened to be thinking about them on Thursday, thinking about that yarn because I was wearing those socks on Thursday. And so I went to the website and they're like, oh, check out our blog tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We're having a shop update, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I could totally get that shop. I could get that shop update. And it was at 12 noon Eastern time. So that's 9 o'clock Pacific. So I was able to hit the update, which never happens. And I had picked out colors ahead of time that I knew I wanted. So I was like, okay, I want that and I want that. And it was like, get my card in there and get it going. And I did it. And so that worked out great. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's pretty much all I've done for stuff. I hope that if you guys get a chance to come to the Tacoma Dome, if you're in the area, come and visit and say hi. I know it's not as exciting as Rhinebeck, which I think is this weekend too. But maybe it's this weekend or next weekend. I don't know. But I know it's not as exciting as that, but you could come and say hi to me. I don't get to go to the other exciting thing. Anyway, guys, that's all I got today. It's really fast, really quick, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.